Okay, so we've got our hands ready. We're ready. Let's start with our first one. Are you ready? Get ready to put your finger up. Echo Miss Kate's. T. I. P. T. I. P. Tip. All right. Now we're going to add a sound. Get ready. Hold your fingers up because you're blending 4 phonemes. You're blending 4 sounds. T. R. I. P. T. Rip. Trip. Okay. D. R. I. P. Drip. Drip. Okay, hold them up again. G. R. I. P. Grip. Grip. Alrighty. Hold them up. G. R. I. N. Grin. Grin. All right, let's hold them up. F. R. A. G. Frog. Frog. K. R. A. N. Crane. Crane. That word would have a silent E at the end because A said its name. S. L. A. G. Slug. Slug. S. W. A. N. Swan. Swan. And our last word. Snake. 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 It would have a silent E at the end because A said its name. Very good, friends. Great job. What does a frog, a crane, a slug, a swan, and a snake, what do all of those things have in common? Smriti?
They're all animals.
They're all animals, you're exactly right. And even more specific, they're all animals you might find in a swamp or a lake. Great job.
Miss A,
Yes.
I have seen so many snakes at the zoo, but it's not outside. A lot is in outside house, the zoo outside, and it has a house inside has a lot of snakes, and inside the zoo has one big long snake, big snake.
Okay, let's take a look at these letter sounds.
Miss Kate.
Hold on, friends. Mute your microphones and do these sounds. What's this sound?
B.
B. B. You're exactly right. B. What's this sound?
J.
J. J. Excellent. And what is this sound? This is the sound that we're actually going to talk about. Let me pull up my PowerPoint. Make sure your microphones are muted. Let me make this large for you to see. So, as you can see, we've already learned the sound. But did you know that the sound can also be pronounced as Z, like the letter Z. At the beginning, this letter at the beginning of the word makes the S sound. But if it's at the end of a word, it makes the Z sound, like in zigzag. I'm going to say several words that have this letter at the end, but it makes the Z sound. When I say the word, I want you to echo it. Are you ready? Okay, here's our first word. Is. Did you hear the Z? Let's do another one. His. Did you hear the Z? As. And has. All of those words have the sound at the end, but the sound makes the Z sound, like in zigzag. Not all words with the S at the end makes the Z sound. Sometimes it still says S, but a lot of the times it makes the Z sound. Okay.
Kate,
Yes. Yes.
I don't know how to spell zoo. Z-O-O.
But this is, we're still talking about the S sound, not the letter Z. Just sometimes it makes that sound at the end of a word. Okay, let's take a look here.
Miss Kate,
Yes.
I'm keeping all my pajamas.
Okay. All right, let's do some chaining really quick. Give it just a second to pull up, and we're gonna chain some words. So, Miss Cates is going to build a word up here, and I want you to raise your hand and tell me when you know what it is. Okay, raise your hand when you know this word. Carolyn, what word is this?
Pen.
Excellent. The sounds are P, A, N. I want to change pan to pant. Let's segment the sounds in pant. P, A, N, T. How many sounds are in pant? 4. There's only 3 letters here. What does that mean I'm gonna need to do? What am I gonna need to do? Ryan, what am I gonna need to do?
Add a letter to the end. Add it to the end.
Excellent, Ryan. I need 4 letters for those 4 sounds, so I'm gonna add the T sound to the end of the word. Pant. That's like if you've been walking, if you took your puppy dog on a walk, and at the end of the walk, sometimes they go, because they're trying to catch their breath. That's panting. They pant. Okay. I want to change pant to put. Punt. I'm sorry. So the word is p-a-nt. I want to change it to p-unt. What do I need to do? Russell.
Change the S sound to the O sound.
Excellent. I'm going to take away my vowel, a, but I know I need to replace it with another vowel, so I'm going to replace it with the sound. Punt. You might hear that in football When they try to kick the football through the goal on TV, that's called punting, when you kick the ball. All right, I want to change punt to runt. Who can help me out? I need to change punt to runt. Let's do DJ. What do I need to do, DJ?
Take the P word and R.
You are so smart. Kiss your brain. Take down the P sound and add the R sound. Runt. Excellent. Okay. Let's change runt, which means like runt would be teeny tiny. If there was a litter of puppies, the smallest puppy, sometimes they call it the runt. Let's try to change runt to bunt. Bunt. Adeline, you can do that, Adeline. Change runt to bunt.
You need to change. You need to change the N to a T.
Actually, okay, let's listen, Adeline. So this is runt. Runt. I need to make it say bunt. So what one am I changing?
You need to change the R to B.
Excellent. Good job, sweet girl. Sometimes if we slow it down and make sure our letters match, that helps us. Bunt. Excellent. All right, our next word is bust. Bust. I need to change to bust. What do I need to change, Nicole?
You have to change the ending sound to the letter F.
Yeah, I need to take down the N, which is towards the end, and I need to add the sound. Bust. Bust. Awesome job, boys and girls. That's all we'll do.
I have a question.
What's your question?
I want to tell you something. I have a pajamas as a pants and a cap, and
That is very pretty, sweet girl. We need to get started with our lesson though, however. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so if you could please get your kit reader out for me, we're gonna talk about this reader. Now, I want you guys, this is not your puppy dog book, this is your kit reader. I want you guys to stay with Miss Kate's as we're reading, because I'm gonna point out some tricky things in this book. You might be able to read everything in this book, but you might not know all the rules of the tricky things that we'll see. So if you could please get your book out and give me a double thumbs up when you have your material in front of you, your materials.
Miss Kate,
Awesome job. Yes.
there's noise and I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I don't hear any background noise. All right, let's get started. Our cover is our kit reader. What is this page? Who can raise their hand and tell me the name of this page? Russell. Excellent. We call it the title page because it gives us the title and the author and illustrator again. Here, what do we call this page? That's the next page in our book. What do we call this page? I am going to call on Are We? What do we call this page?
The table, I forgot the other word.
The table of contents. Contents. Contents is a fancy Nancy word for saying what is inside. So it's telling you, this is the table of contents. It tells you everything that's inside the book, all the stories. Well, today we're going to read a story titled Kit's Hats. Can you find that title in your table of contents and point to it for me with your handy dandy pointer finger? If we point to it and we follow the dotted line all the way across, it says we're going to turn to page 23. Page 23 in our reader. So I like to start at the beginning and I turn pages. I don't have to turn them one at a time. I might take 2 or 3 pages at a time. And we're going to turn, actually, sorry, I'm going to get back to where I need to be. We're going to turn to this page. It's almost like the front cover of the book. Kit's Hats. All right, let's take a look at this title. Point to the first word, Kit's.
Miss K,
Yes, Nicole.
is it big?
Yes, that's correct. Let's point to the title in the first word, Kit's. Does anyone know what we call, and I dropped my, oh, that's okay, I got another one. What do we call this right here? What we call, oh, thank you. What do we call this? Does anyone know what that's called? And it's okay if you don't, if you're not sure. Okay, this thing is called an apostrophe. Can you say apostrophe? Apostrophe. That's how I remember it. Apostrophe. Apostrophe. So, an apostrophe, we put that after a person's name when we add the s at the end, when we're adding an S. Now you might think, why do we do that, Miss Cates? Why do I need to put that thingy there when I add an S to a person's name? Well, I'm getting ready to tell you. Russell, can you mute your mic for me, buddy? You accidentally turned it on. The reason we put an apostrophe here is it shows possession. It shows what is that person's. So the title of our book is Kit's Hats. Whose hats are they? Whose hats? Jonyan, whose hats are these?
Kit's.
They're Kit's hats, aren't they? So because they're a person's hats, we're going to put an apostrophe. That's a fancy formal way of saying these are Kit's hats. So we put an apostrophe and add the S to her name to show that these are her hats. Now listen to the word hats. Hats. What do you notice about that word, hats? Raise your hand and tell me, what do we notice about the word hats? Who can I call on that's a smart cookie? We're all smart cookies. Let's see, Smriti? What did you notice about the word hats?
The S is sounding like the Z letter.
That's what we just learned. The S, we learned that at the end of some words, the S can make the Z sound. Kiss your brains. You learned something new, so kiss your brain. Awesome, great job, boys and girls. So in this story, it's Kit's hats. I want you to listen as we read and read along with me with your pointer finger. See if you can identify the words with the Z sound at the end. It has the letter S, but it makes the Z sound. Let's see if we can identify those. I'm going to read the entire book, and then we're going to go back and look at it. Let's listen. We're opening it to the next page. has hats. Kit has big hats. Kit has flat hats. Make sure your microphone's muted, DJ. Kit has fun hats. And that's the end. So, tell me a word in our story that had the Z sound at the end of it, but it was actually the letter S. Carolyn. Hats. Oh, has. Yes, I'm so sorry. Has. And look what the author did for you. He put that in bold. That means he wanted you to notice that S makes the Z sound. Excellent job. Let's read it again together. Raise your hand, and I'm gonna take some of these hands down so that I know that you're actually wanting to. I don't want to call on someone who doesn't want to be called on. Raise your hand if you would like to read this first page. Raise your hand for me. All right. Nicole, if you could please read this to us.
Kate has hats.
Excellent, but look at her name, sweetie. Let's look right here. It has I as the vowel, so it's Kit. And look, can I teach you something else that's kind of a trick? I see a little word in a big word.
Is it?
Yep, it. So sometimes when you see that, all you have to do is add the beginning sound. Awesome job. Fantastic. Kit has hats. Let's look at the next page. Ryan, would you please read this page to us?
Kit has big hats.
Excellent. Kit has big hats. And look at her hat. That is a big hat. Let's look at this page. Anya, would you please read this page for us?
Kit has flat hats.
Excellent. Kit has flat hats. Oh, I found a blend. Look. F-O. When I say that, it's easier if I blend those two consonants together. Flat. Flat hats. Great work, friends. All right, we're on our last page. Jonyan, if you would please read this to us.
Kit has fun hats.
Excellent. Kit has fun hats. That's a fun hat. It's called a sombrero. They wear it in Mexico. All right. I'm going to ask you some questions about this story. So, if you're ready to answer the question, raise your hand. What kind of hats does Kit have? Oh my goodness, there were so many hats. I would probably have to look back in my book to help me find this answer. Let's see, what kind of hats does Kit have? Are we?
Kit has big hats.
Okay, she has a big hat. What else? Look in your book. Do you have your book in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, look at,
Hat.
she has flat hats.
And fun hat.
And she has fun hats. Very cool. Okay. Where does Kit keep her hats? Where does Kit keep her hats? Think. Adeline, where does she keep them? closet. Some people have shelves in their closets. Great job, Adeline. You can mute your microphone. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like she keeps them in her closet. Excellent. Did the author tell us that with his words, or did the illustrator help us with that? It was the illustrator. Okay, how many hats does Kit have? How many hats does she have? This might be tricky. Anya?
9.
Did you count the hats on the page, Anya? Very good. So if we look in the story, she's only got 1, 2, 3, but if we look over here and we count them all on her shelf, it looks like she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hats. Wow, that's a lot of hats. Okay. Who is the main character in this story? Who is the main character? And I think every single positively person in this class can answer that. Grant, who's the main character in our story? Grant, are you there? Who's the main character? It's in our title. Look at our title. See the title? Who's our main character, Grant?
Her.
It's Kit. Kit is her name. Kit. Okay, thank you, Grant. Kit is our main character. Very good. Can anyone else think of a question you would ask about the story? Now, a question is when you're asking something. It's not a statement, it's a question. What is a question you might ask about the story? Ryan, what's a question you would ask?
How did Kit got so many hats?
Oh, that's a great question. How did Kit get so many hats? That's a really good question. I don't even think that's in the story. Carolyn, what question would you ask? I can come back to you.
Why did Kit have so many big hats and small hats?
Oh, why did she have the different kinds of hats? That's a great question. Smriti, what's a question you would ask?
What does Kit showing you about?
Ooh, what is the author telling you about, or what is Kit telling you about? What is Kit's story about? Great job. Okay, friends, we're gonna go ahead and stop for now. Again, we do not have small group today. I have your math. You're gonna go on to Clever again for math and go to your assignments to do your math lesson. Then it's so exciting. At 12:45, we will have our tea. And if you would like to come dressed, you may do that. Be creative. You could tie a blanket around your, pin a blanket around your neck and have a robe, make a crown. Maybe you have a scepter somewhere. Like this could be my scepter.
You could also have pretend tea.
Yes, and you could have pretend tea. If you have a teacup that your mom would be okay with you using. Another friend talked about putting juice or maybe milk or something. You can do that as well. And
Or you can be a ninja.
Well, a ninja doesn't have to do with royalty. You could be a knight. You could be a knight and try to figure that out.
You could be a king.
You could be a king. That's exactly right. Smriti, what's your question?
Can I get my pretend teacup and use that?
I would love that. That sounds fabulous.
It's supposed to be one of my teacups and sticker peeled off of them, but the other one is still there, and it's supposed to be a sticker of princess.
Oh, that's fabulous. Okay, friends, we're gonna go.
Miss Kate.
Okay, if you have a question, you can stay on, but the rest of you can leave. Hang on, guys. Let's let our friends leave, and then you can ask me the question.